Absolutely crazy, and it cost Leenock probably the game. Does not want to be losing all those. I love these Widow Mine traps, though, that Terrans are trying to set up against Mutas.
It's cool. It's a bit of a risk, but, you know, at times, if they just fly over it, and it's a pretty clear angle that Zerg might want to come in from, Zerg is just going to lose the game. I mean, you are always a little bit at risk. If you don't have an Overseer with these Mutas, you can lose everything, man.
Yeah.
That's a lot of gas.
It certainly
That's
is.
where the majority of your gas was going this entire time.
Well, a scan came down out of Cure, and he sees all the Roaches and Ravagers, so he's going to be much more ready if that attack does come. 2-2 still on the way here. Already done for Cure, but Leenock going to finish that up, and I would like to see him move out and start to get something done. You don't want the spies to get too high before you're utilizing this army.
Yeah, I agree. We're still waiting for Cure to indicate that he's aware of what's coming at him, because this is an unorthodox style of play here from Leenock, hoping to really just catch Cure off guard, playing a little bit outside of the more standard meta that we've seen.
Yeah, I haven't really seen this style used, like the 2-hatch Muta into Roach upgrades, but only using Ling Muta to hold everything, and then just going with a 2-2 timing attack. Like,
yeah, it looks like he just banks all these upgrades and then explodes with these Roaches and Ravagers. Let's see how the Widow Mine hits, Stu.
Yeah, and there's not a single Marauder in this army. The Widow Mines, like, they could theoretically do damage, but Ravagers are very good against Widow Mines.
Well, not to mention, most of the Marines are not even over here. I think this expansion will be killed off no matter what.
Yeah.
Looks like Terran is aware of what's coming at him.
It's hard to imagine him not having a lift. He does, of course, have to lift as soon as this army comes over. And in fact, targeting this command center, that's going to force him to run in, which means that these Biles can be shot out.
Yep. Biles connecting pretty well. There's still a lot of Banelings over here. He's going to try to continue to push forward. They're keeping some of these Mutas in the back.
Well, a couple of the Widow Mines actually connect there. The Biles going a little bit slow to wipe everything out. And in fact, hitting his own army with some of these Biles as well. Some Marauders joining the fray, though, and trying to push those Roaches back.
Yeah, he's just trying to get these units to kite back a little bit further. The Muta's still going ham on the command center. The command center too low. It will go down.
Wow, that's quite a snipe indeed. And with 16 more Roaches on the way, we have Cure just stuck on 2 bases right now.
Yeah, he might make some more Banelings, get some more Roaches and Lings along with that, and just try to run him over. Now, with the sheer number of Marauders, he could begin to combat this.
Yeah.
Marauder is the natural enemy of the Roach Ravager.
The natural energy. I'm like, well, the natural is the first base you take, and then energy, that's for casting spells. I'm like, what are we talking about here?
Cure on his back foot, not looking too optimistic.
He's definitely in trouble right now. Leenock is playing some great games here tonight.
Yeah, and games that really show not just skill as far as control, but an understanding of how Terrans are thinking and playing the game, and good responses to that. Really challenging Terran to think on his own 2 feet.
Totally. And it's really cool because he's living with Curious, and you can see a little bit of Curious-esque style like rubbing off on him as well. You know, also I do want to throw out one thing. You know, a lot of hardcore StarCraft fans got to watch Innovation 11.0 Leenock. What a depressing thing. He even admits that he like uninstalled StarCraft and reinstalled it after that.
I would be
like,
so mad.
Yeah, and even Innovation was like, I feel really bad for him for that happening, because that's like so tough as a programmer, and he's much better than being 11-0'd, you know. And it's the case, and to see him play so well here tonight, whether he wins or loses this game, he's like showing a lot of different builds tonight, a wide range of his strategy choices. I love it.
Banelings are going to be edging in right now. This is a really tough angle. And then, by the way, he just takes out the CC. That means that Terran only has 1 command center.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. These Biles going to force him to back up as well. Baneling's speed is done, so that's just another issue that Cure has to deal with here.
He's going for that Battle Zerg style. He wants to pick a fight. It's Terran having to finesse his way around the map. And as he keeps the Terran on his back foot, he's getting closer and closer to basically hitting this command center. Banelings do come up and connect. A lot of them do hit Marauders. SCVs now being used to try to help assist the rest of these Marines and Marauders. The last command center goes down. There's nothing else Leenock has to do. He can go home.
Oh my God. This is so funny seeing what he's doing. But hold on. Kira is trying for a flank right now? No,
I don't think he
back
cares. Leenock can actually stay up there if he wants.
22 more Roaches on the way. He's not going to be broken.
Looks like he just escapes.
He's got so much.
He can keep chucking Corrosive Biles. The artillery will keep Terran's zone back. Wow, look at that. He identifies in that moment. He can close it out as those Corrosive Biles connect. Leenock is up 1-0. And maybe our next survivor, another Zerg, moving on to the round of 16.
That looked really great, and I got to tell you, this is really cathartic to see how many Zergs are just sniping Terran command centers lately.
Yeah.
Giving Terrans a taste of their TVP medicine. But kind of crazy. Like, Kira's having a hard time here against Leenock and keeping everything alive. And JJAKJI had the same type of thing. Like, Leenock is just doing these great attacks, setting up these really hard situations to deal with. This is very fun right now watching Leenock play.
It's a real privilege, you know? Now, what exactly are we going to have coming here from Leenock? I don't believe you can do that 2 games in a row. That's basically trying to catch the Terran off guard. You basically have a unit comp that doesn't develop well into the super late game, but it has to be respected, especially with the upgrade privileges it gets.
Yeah.
He's able to come in there and really beat up the Terran. And Terran, who's staying on low CC, trying to power up, hoping to push later on, when he starts losing command centers, he loses the game. Anyways, guys, this is game number 2, Leenock versus Pure, in our final best of 3 in tonight's GSL Code S. In the upper right, in the blue, he is Leenock. In the bottom left, in the red,
Janair Green Wings, Cure.
Ooh. By the way, like, in my opinion, I would like to see Leenock just play a macro game here. It is Daybreak. You're far enough away that it's hard for Terran to even play like a very standard macro game.
Yeah, even though we saw scary pushes from Kira, I don't think this is a map Terran can very comfortably push on. This map does make for some very long games.
Yeah. A lot of ways for Zerg to kind of run around you and do harassment damage. You know, just the walking distance for your whole army and stuff.
One thing about Leenock, it's really a lot more about strategy and tactics than it is about macro.
Yeah,
or micro for that matter. I mean, he's fine in some of these big fights, but some of these big fights are not that hard to control. You know,
yeah.
But
I think tactics is a big part of his play, really, because he does, like, historically, he's just done like more burrowed banelings than most players. Like, a lot of times he'll just like hit 2 places at once. You know, those are the that's, I guess, the way, like, tactics are the ways you utilize what you have to do things, where strategy is more like, I'm going Ling Bane.
I'm going for this. The idea behind what I'm trying to do is this.
Yeah.
And
he's tactically such a strong
Tactics is different from micro, by the way, guys. Micro is all right, you each have 3 Reapers or something. How do you control that?
Yeah.
Whereas tactics are like, okay, I have X amount of banelings. I'll burrow them here. Or I got so many medevacs, I'll try to drop here, or I'll fake one out, move over here. It's a big difference. And Leenock's very good at that.
Yeah, he certainly is. By the way, so far tonight, we haven't had a single game of the 2 medevac stim timing that is such a popular build in this matchup. So just kind of an interesting thing to point out.
Kind of funny. He almost did so much damage to those Lings. He lost all 4. But he kept those 2 alive at the very end.
All right, probably just Hellion's going to be coming up here very shortly. Zergling speed as well as Overlord speed on the way here for Leenock as well. Wants to really know exactly what's going on.
We did have Leenock on the bunker, the pregame show. He did ask that people would be tuning into his stream, so definitely support him that way.
That's right. It's LDN41. Definitely
on
check it out.
Twitch.tv.
He's got really quite good English. He's been a pro since the very beginning of StarCraft 2, and he's always been a fantastic Zerg, a champion.
I didn't realize his English was that good, actually.
Yeah.
You know, generally we try to leave the pro gamers alone before their matches because it is a big day for them. You know, as much as we're all having fun watching and getting hype, I mean, they really are in one of the most important days in their entire careers when they're here to GSL, so we try not to bother them. Usually Artosis and me just hanging out backstage. But it was really cool to see that his English was that good. He never, back when we first started GSL, he didn't speak any English, so it was kind of cool and surprising.
Yeah. A little bit of poking and harassment going on here. There was a good Overlord scout, sees that Stim is already on the way, so something he needs to keep track of there. Third base coming up, sees that.
Hellion's poke in. We've got Baneling's Nest now coming down. So this is a pretty passive game overall, guys.
Yeah.
This is really Kier saying, okay, if I'm going to go out, I am going to go out doing something that we know is supposed to work.
Yeah.
Which is good. I mean, we've seen some players where they're down one game and they basically go to the roulette wheel.
Yeah, that's true.
Put all their money on cheese and spin it. And, you know, sometimes it works and that's cool, but you're probably not always going to win at GSL. We've had a few famous historic moments where we think one player might be better than the other, but he cheeses, like MVP versus Squirtle.
Yeah.
One of the most defining moments of StarCraft 2, where it goes to show you, yeah, man, sometimes you do want to cheese.
Yeah.
Nobody expected that to really happen. And then MVP did it, and you know what? Squirrel didn't see it coming either.
No, yeah. Sometimes, like, to have balls to do it in a situation like that, when you're the favored player, is like the craziest thing of all. But Kier, he is going to just try to win a macro game here. He's going for that third command. He's gotten a pretty quick stim. He's getting his double engineering bay.
Looks like we have the Liberator headed northbound now. The Hellions are down here at the bottom. He wants to set that Liberator up, draw Leenock's screen up there to the north, and then dive in onto that third base. At least it looks like it's going to be the third base, to try to kill as many drones as possible. Now, note the positioning is not easy for the Queen to get over here to help defend. Actually taking a little bit of damage there. Meanwhile, we didn't even get a shot of it, but the Hellions did dive in there. I don't think any drones were killed because there were no drones at the expansion.
That scan was really good, though. It saw that there is a huge amount of Zerglings with 18 more on the way. That is so many Zerglings, and having seen that, he's actually running back.
Oh.
This is such a smart move by Leenock. Kier sees it quick enough that he still gets through. Yeah. Okay. There's a lot of bunkers on the way, but there's enough Banelings to kill every single one of those bunkers.
Yeah. These Banelings might destroy the entire Terran base and then go through into another map and kill somebody on BattleNet.
Okay, let's see what the Banelings can do.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my God.
The wall is not tight.
Okay, they are not being that efficient yet. They're killing bunkers with like a unit in them. That is still a lot of lings. He's forced liftoffs. He hasn't. God, I tell you, this was a good defense by Kier so far.
Well, turns out Hellions are pretty good on a ramp.
Yeah.
Thing is, I mean, he definitely denied the second base there. Terran do need two bases to mine to support all this. The thing is, the Banelings don't have speed, so it's kind of weird.
You can't really get in there as long as he's microing these Hellions and is very on top of them. Nothing can be done.
Meanwhile, this Liberator is going to start doing some damage over here. The Queen's coming up. I don't believe there's an angle, especially with the Evo Chamber. Oh, nicely done. I don't believe there's a good angle with that Evo Chamber there for the Queen to actually take that out. I guess the bottom right.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God, 9 health.
He's like, all right, I got to get out of here.
Yeah, well. Almost like a bluff by Leenock.
This won't last forever.
Yeah, he's like, 9 health. Like, this has to die, right? This was good enough. I'll back up. Maybe go back later. Okay, yeah, Queen finally did go down.
Had there not been so many Hellions, that attack might have completely obliterated Kier.
It all comes down to that scan in the natural.
Yeah.
If he didn't see that many Zerglings, the Hellions would have been out on the map. And the Zerglings, if they get in between the Hellions and the main base, Leenock probably takes that game.
Now, Kier's trying to take the third base here. He's in range of these Lings. And he wants to keep the command center out of that vision. Hellions are coming down now. Uh-oh. He's going to try to
Red Banelings once again.
Oh.
Yeah, that's not worth it right now.
Yeah.
If he gets 4 of them on top, that's another story.
Yeah. The drop now headed through the bottom right. You can see there's a Viking here to spot for it to make sure it can get over there and be an unexpected surprise there for the Zerg.
No overlords in the way.
This
drops them off.
This game. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say he could.
This game. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, I got nothing to say. Oh, Marines.
This game has been very unexpected. It kind of slowed down after that initial attack didn't work out. Good surround there. I got to say, Kier, though, is really starting to slow down everything that's happening right now for Leenock. He is getting in his opponent's face. And if you look at the supplies now, Terran is getting bigger and much stronger. 3 bases easily secured because, those Lings and slow Banelings just can't do much against range units that can kite like that. The Hellions, the Marines with stim, and the medevacs there to pick them up if they do get in a bad spot.
It is very tough for him right now. Ooh, okay, that
nicely done.
Yeah, slightly late on that, but still very good. 1-1 finishing up here for Leenock. Speed for Banelings just now on the way. That's a little bit scary. Like, Leenock does have 4 bases. His creep spread is very poor this game, though, and that's a big issue.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't really what he was setting up to get, right? I guess a perfect player would have had better creep spread, too.
Yeah, the Link Bane all in
here.
failing definitely is biting him in the butt right now. Slow Bane's trying to close on, no, not going to happen. This army,
I
my
think he
God.
just might have too much. Yeah. He can keep stimming and micro in this bag as long as he targets down the Banelings. That's going to be a GG. We're going to the last game with these two, Artosis.
All right. Leenock really just deciding to go with a super aggressive strategy there, but Cure with the scan to save his life and possibly this Code S for him.
Well, Leenock did do a different strategy than he did in Game 1, but that was a strategy where if Cure just sees it coming, he makes a few adjustments, makes a few more Hellions, and he's won the game. So, what does Leenock do in game number 3? Can he play a standard game? Should he play a standard game? Is there an opening here for Cure to try to throw Leenock off?
I tell you what, I think that Leenock can, in fact, play a standard game. The map is Overgrowth, and that's fourth
true.
base is so far away. You really can't push into it as Terran. So he could just put the onus on Cure and say, hey, you got to figure out how to actually get all the way back here and attack my third or fourth. It's super duper hard.
All right. It all is going to end on Overgrowth. After this, we're either going to have Leenock, our Zerg, our Cure, our Terran moving on to the round of 16. In the bottom right, or bottom left, in the blue, he is
Leenock.
in the upper right, in the red, our Terran player.
Janair Green Wings, Cure.
Kind of a tense moment here for Cure. He's one of the guys that is on a team.
Yeah,
We're
that's
seeing
true.
a shift here where you might not need a team anymore to be the best in the world. We saw this with Beyond.
Yeah. And you and I were talking about how that kind of puts some pressure onto Jinair, right?
Yeah, you'd think it'd be the other way around, where these other guys who are teamless would be like, oh, crap.
Yeah. Well, Jinair has to prove that it's worth itself.
Yeah, exactly.
The players have to prove that it's worth it. To be fair, Maru's doing very well. Okay, he got out of his group, SOS as well, and here's Kier. So let's see what Kier can pull off. Can he get out of this group? I mean, even if it's just 2 out of 3, that's pretty good. Kier and Maru both kind of having disappointing singles years last year.
That's true. Obviously, everybody knew they were good, but they were not
they didn't
quite
make it
delivering.
BlizzCon, and that's, you know, for those 2 players to not make it a BlizzCon,
It's pretty bad.
I mean, those 2 are absolutely top 8 players. Like, you know, they're just players that you would have considered last year to be there, but weren't quite able to do it. But, you know, they're in the round of 16, waiting hopefully for Kier to make it there as well.
So, what are we going to have here from Leenock? We're really waiting to see what that tech tree is going to be. Leenock has shown he's got a really big variety of different play styles. He's super smart. Actually, frankly, a lot more deceptive than some of the other Zergs we have here.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you're going to be a deceptive player, a lot of people would be like, oh, you don't even play the game right, or, oh, you know, this is really cheesy. Honestly, you have to have a very good understanding of how the other race operates and how they think. You have to be a very smart guy, especially in Code S play. Top 32 in the entire world.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's part of the game. Like, it doesn't matter how perfect you are. There are people that are going to be able to cheese you out. It's just the state of it. And if you aren't mixing any of that in, that's actually a weakness. If someone knows that you're not going to do that, they can just play greedy as can be.
By the way, I do want to say something that a lot of nerds are they're gonna get angry or Tosis. They might get so mad their ears are going to be red. No, I'm going to make them angry. I'm not scared of them. Thank God for cheese. Thank God for crazy all-ins.
Yeah.
Thank God for completely having the opportunity to fool your opponent, because that's what makes this game so beautiful. It really does. The fact that you can have some stuff and completely throw off another player. The fact that you can dictate a game to go in a direction the other guy never intended it to. This game would be horrible if it was nothing but pure macro fights.
Yeah, it would be awful.
It would be dull. It would be dumbed
game.
down. It'd be watching, you know, nothing happen for long stretches of time until eventually it's like, okay,
Just who
hit
could be
the keys
greedier or
fastest?
something? Yeah.
Who didn't forget a depot?
Well,
all right, you're the winner now.
Yeah, it would become more like Beat Mania or something. It's just like, oh wow, look at you.
Yeah.
You hit all the combos.
You hit all the keys perfectly.
You hit all the keys in the right order at the right time. That's
this
really
game
great.
is like Beat Mania, but you know you're trying to outsmart him.
It's Beat Mania when you throw knives at each other during it.
Yeah, and Molotov cocktails.
Yeah.
It's and to make it even more complicated because it's harder mechanically, I'd even say, than Beat Mania.
Of course.
For the decisions you have to make because you have to mix it up. You also have a DDR pad on your feet. So you're hitting Beat Mania keys. You got a DDR pad.
Yeah.
Right.
You also have
you got a mic to your mouth and you're singing karaoke, trying to get it perfectly.
And there's an eye tracker. You have to look at all the right things on the screen at the right time.
Yeah.
Especially if they're Widowmine drops because those don't make noise.
Yeah. Looks like this Overlord's going to come in here, and it's going to be gunned down, but it does serve its purpose. It sees what the tech is, notices the factory rotating away, so that the add-on can be swapped.
Yeah, that's a lot of intel for sure. Queen's moving out a little bit. Double Evo on the way. The third base about to finish up. Some good creep spread already, connecting the main and natural. Definitely a much more macro-oriented game so far from Leenock. Look at that, he already has a Spore ready. Yeah,
Okay, he will shuffle the Spore underneath that. Meanwhile, some Hellions coming in here. Can he get any of these workers?
Ooh! Really great morph right there. And the Zergling's going to slip by, get all the Hellions as well. Hey, perfect defense so far, really. He's lost like 2 drones, and I mean, this was super. Look at that. Oh, my God. He's got his upgrades started before the E-bays even start. This is looking very good for him. Luckily, the third command center is almost done for Cure, so we definitely don't want to like count him out and be like, well, he's just totally dead, because his economy is going to be very strong as well.
Well, for now, the Reaper does just come in, try to do a little bit of scouting, is eventually picked off here. Stim almost done. Leenock, like a lot of these really good Zergs now, is just always getting Burrow. I'm glad that, you know, we have that in StarCraft 2 as well. Remember when Burrow was like, ooh, he's getting Burrow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Let's see what he does. It's like, of course you want Burrow, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know how much you could do with this? You know how many scans you can make them waste? You know if they just make a mistake, you blow up their army?
We've talked about this for over 6 years now, about how Burrow Baneling landmines would be like this crazy awesome thing. The thing is, a lot of people just haven't really had the speed, but we're hitting that point where players are getting so unbelievably good, and we're finding like the greatest gamers on Earth, you know, that have really developed their skills, that we're seeing things like Leenock every single game, Baneling landmines, and they're getting value in every single game.
The thing is, the upgrade is like not expensive, man.
No, 100,
it's like, just get it.
If you're not making a queen out of that hatch, you may as well.
Yeah. It's like some kind of basic insurance policy for the Zerg, where if Terran is just not completely on top of everything, is not scanning as he moves forward and is making too many mules, you can wipe out his army.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Now look at this. He's trying to get rid of some of this creep. I do like that. That's another reason why the Burrow is so good, especially here on this map, Tasteless.
Yeah.
Is you have to scan so much trying to get rid of the creep. Because look, Leenock is already going towards his 4th. He's playing just a straight macro game because of the map.
Yeah.
And like, you can't even get back there. It's so crazy. Like, it's going to be so hard for him to attack that. He's going to have to scan so much to get rid of creep to try to make a path. And he's not going to have enough for these landmines.
This is always a frustrating exchange here for the Zerg, because Terran just picks up the moment any of these Marines start to take too much damage. You know, also, one funny thing about Baneling landmines is they tend to be more effective on maps like this. First of all, it's hard for the Zerg to push the creep all the way across. If it's a smaller map and Zerg have the whole map covered in creep, even though that's good, then they're going to be scanning and killing your Banelings anyways, because they have to kill creep.
That's a good point.
Also, this map is taller than it is wide. So that means the southern path the Terran army has to go down, especially with the obstructions on the map, makes it a little bit easier for Baneling landmines to be set up.
I like what you're saying with that. It definitely does make sense. And where he's setting this up, oh my God, he actually scanned and saw.
Really nice.
Okay, he's kind of downloading Leenock a little bit here.
Well, Cure is an adaptable player. I mean, I know this guy was rank 1 on the ladder before, but he is somebody who can figure out how to hammer together different styles of play in a best of 3.
It's coming down. This is a pretty strong push. The creep isn't all the way at that 4th base, but Speedbang's rolling down those ramps toward this army. Like, all you can do is lift off and go home.
Yeah.
Unless your mind's hit like greatly.
Hold up. He's coming in over here, taking out those Marines. There's a few Banelings left here to still try to get some of these SCVs. Not the best connections. The Link still, though, doing some damage. He does do an insta burrow here, hoping that Cure did not notice that.
Oh, this push that he's trying to make happen right now. This could... that's a lot of banelings, but there are quite a few Widow Mines.
Go ahead, sorry.
This is the day of bumps. Look, these Widow Mines, they have to do a good job here. Leenock will smash through, and they're not doing a good job. A great flank here by Leenock. Such a hard area to push into, and Leenock really showing us why.
Yeah, no mutas there even to take out the medevacs. It just was too powerful on the ground. No pickup, by the way, for Kir, though, however. Nothing was really preventing him from actually booking it out of there. I think he actually thought mutas were going to be coming.
Maybe.
So the bunker is now being remade over there. Oh, boy. He needs to do this pretty fast. Okay.
No problem.
Good save.
Okay, a bunch of mutas just hatched, so now Leenock has that as well. His creep spread is pretty darn good. The right-hand side is missing quite a bit.
Now, there's still a lot of medevacs in the game, but that won't matter if Leenock gets a lot of banelings. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to smash the third here.
Yeah, like I think that if he deflects one or two more big attacks here, he's going to be able to just have complete map control and hit that third base.
See, this medevac now can't get away. Looks like he just goes ahead and guns down that one Widow Mine. Yeah, he's fine. Just takes out the remainder of these forces. Microing away even the weaker mutas so that he doesn't end up trading anything at all. He just comes out ahead.
Leenock is looking so good tonight. Like, we would be singing such high praises if we hadn't watched Dark already tonight. Seriously. Like, because we are saying, like, he's really good, but, like, this is fantastic play out of Leenock.
Well, and it's also a very different style from Dark. You got to keep that in mind as well. Dark is just able to survive, able to outlast anything. Even when he's massively behind, most Zerg players basically fall apart. You know, Terran stimming and picking up with medevacs is very hard to deal with. Another Baneling comes in here. Doesn't look like it quite connects on the bunker, but it will be taken out. Now the remaining Lings are going to come in here. Now keep in mind, there is no medevac here to help out, so these Lings are actually a lot stronger than they would normally be in a fight like this. Oh!
It could have been crazy. Turning around right there. Definitely a big deal.
By the way, 14 SCVs were killed. Oh, wait.
Not sure what that got exactly.
I think that actually got a lot, man. There was much more there earlier.
Oh, man. And now the Mute is getting on top of these medevacs as well. Kir is almost dead at this point. Leenock playing a fantastic game, chasing him back.
That was really smart. He noticed which one picked up the Marines. However, the remaining army that's coming in here, the Mute is now taking out these extra Widow Mines. I think Kir is almost, he's out. There it is, GG. Leenock survives into the round of 16.
Wow. You know, Kir coming close, though. He did win one game out of the three. The thing is, he looked a little bit outclassed by Leenock, to be perfectly honest. Leenock definitely deserving to go through in second place to Dark, giving us another Zerg in that round of 16.
Also, it's important to remember here, a lot of Zergs have been saying they've been having a hard time against Terran. What did Leenock do? He played very different styles in each game. He was able to mask a lot of what he was doing. There were a lot of surprises, and sometimes that's what you have to do. If your race is having a hard time, you don't sit around and bitch about it. You get out there and start coming up with strats that are going to take them out.
Yeah, and he did a lot of that, man. The amount of Baneling landmines that he used tonight is astounding. I thought he had some really great ZVZ as well, but Dark just, I guess, too strong as a human to fall to anything at this point. But it is, what an exciting time. A lot of these old school players really coming back, being in fantastic shape. We already had Keen go through, you kidding me? Keen and Leenock in 2017 in the round of 16 at GSL Codas.
So exciting, because we have, you know, the people we expect to move on, the Darks, the innovations. But look at this, Keen and Leenock are still fighting.
Yeah.
They still got time to practice, they still got time to train. Let's see how far these guys get. Let's not forget about them too.
Yeah. It's definitely quite a storyline to see the oldest of school still able to bring some nerds to school.
많은 분들이 걱정해 주셨는데요. 오늘 조 2위 진출자 이동현
A lot of parents were worried about him.
축하드립니다.
감사합니다.
But he got second place. Congratulations, thank you.
오늘 팬들도 굉장히 많이 응원해 주셨거든요. 자, 먼저 소감부터 들어볼게요.
How do you feel?
일단 그래도 일단 16강에 올라가게 돼서 기분 되게 좋고요. 좀 오랜만에 가는 것 같은데.
I'm so happy I was able to advance to the round of 16.
제가 요즘에 엄청 열심히
It's been a long time actually. I've been in the round of 16. I'm training so hard lately.
자유의 날개 이후로
I want to go as high as I can go.
거예요. 그동안 그렇게 잘하셨는데도 되게 오랜만이죠.
예, 엄청 오랜만인 게 느껴졌어요. 예.
왜 이제서 가게 됐는지 저는
Can't remember the last time I played in round of 16. It's been so long.
오늘 이동현 선수의 진출 여부를 놓고 많은 분들이 예측이 많았었거든요. 사실 끝장전이 담금질 된다는 데는 동의를 하면서도 이동현 선수 괜찮을까?
Seems like you got stronger after losing some of those matches against Innovation.
회사전 다 테란전이었어요.
You were able to redeem yourself today.
네,
How do you feel?
진 걸 진짜 보기 싫었는데 리플레이 일단 한 번씩 다 봤고요. 예.
정말
I really didn't watch that match again,
일단 GSL이라도 이겨야 다시 하는.
but I did watch every single replay.
리플레이 한번 쭉 봤고요.
I learned a lot from all that. I took those losses and was able to improve upon myself.
빨리 수습해서 올라가려고 열심히 했어요. 예.
그 리플레이를 다시 다 봤다니.
I'm satisfied I was able to pick myself back up after that embarrassing series against Innovation, practice hard, and succeed today.
만감이 교차하시나 봐요.
아니 졸려가지고 제가 2시간밖에 못 자가지고.
He said, "Look, I've only slept 2 hours. I'm a little bit out of it right now."
제가 아직도 이렇게 내공이 부족하네요. 전혀 예측하지 못했어요. 그렇군요. 빨리 가서 쉬셔야 될 텐데 사실 오늘 같이 연습하시는 이원표 선수도 올라가셨으면 좋았을 텐데 오늘 오셔서 또 응원해 주셨거든요.
You practice with Curious. We saw that Curious was down here to support you. Any advice or anything to say? Excuse me.
연습 때 하던 대로만 하면은 뭐 올라갈 수 있고 저는 어차피 올라갈 거 다 안다고 계속.
What Curious told me was just keep calm, do what you did in practice. His presence here gave me a lot of confidence.
정말 이신영 선수 뽑으실 거예요?
예, 뭐.
Are you going to select Innovation if you got a chance to do selection?
싫어도 뽑아야죠 이제.
이제는 할 수도 없다.
Yeah, I'll keep my word. If I get the chance, I'll select Innovation.
이신영 선수와 리매치를 기대해 봐도 좋을 것 같은데요.
He's a madman.
자, 오늘 경기장에서 팬들도 이렇게 궁금증들을 포스트잇으로 남겨주셨거든요.
네.
거기서 이동현 선수 햄버거 최대 몇 개?
Some of our fans had some questions for you.
이렇게 물어보셨거든요.
제가
How many hamburgers can you eat at once? What? Who asked that?
많이 안 먹어서.
I don't like hamburgers.
진짜요?
We've taken a weird direction here, Artosis.
Apparently he's full if he eats one hamburger. Okay. I guess that makes sense. One hamburger is a lot of food.
That's not a normal meal.
3개. 생각보다 소식한다.
네.
그렇군요. 자, 앞으로도 이렇게 이동현 선수의 더 다양한 모습 볼 수
How many
있도록
hamburgers can you eat,
더
Jason?
선전하셨으면 하는 바람입니다.
3/4?
자, 계속해서
Yeah, 3/4.
응원해주시는 팬들에게 한마디 해주시죠.
Any final comments to your
일단
fans?
제가 최근에 이신영 선수한테 좀 크게 졌는데 되게 많은 팬분들이 위로해주시고 또
I lost Innovation,
괜찮다고
but
다음에 잘하면 된다고 계속
I know there
위로를
are
많이
people that are
해주셔서
still watching and cheering for me and giving me
많은
confidence.
힘이 됐고요. 그다음에 또 이번에 올라갔으니까
And I want you guys to know I also gain a lot of confidence from the support of my fans.
열심히 하겠습니다.
I was able to move on to the round of 16. I want my revenge.
자, 다시 한번
Watch out.
축하드립니다.
All right, that does it.
Wow.
자, 최근에 좌절에도 불구하고
Strong words from
멋진
Leenock. Kind of
Yeah.
crazy that he's ready to pick Innovation with how strong that guy's looking.
That's insane. I would not do that.
No. I'd be
I would
picking
be
the
like-
weakest. I'm like,
Yeah.
Keen, you come over here.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we're going to have an old school battle.
Let's hope and pray that Innovation loses on the other side of the bracket
Yeah.
with some crazy upset. Well, congratulations, Leenock did it. A lot of people did not think he was going to move on.
The way you turned to me, I thought you were telling me congratulations. I'm like,
You did it.
"Thanks."
You casted
Thanks.
another day of Code S.
Turns out I'm moving on to the round of 16 as well.
That's right.
But not until I'm done the round of 32.
That's the best part about being Artos is you always get to the finals of every match.
That's right. Most consecutive GSL finals goes to Tases and Artosis.
Guys, that's going to do it for us here. We do have the Saturday matches coming up, so
Yep.
please do not miss out on that. That'll
Really
be
early.
at 1 p.m. KST. That's for our North American viewers, since we normally do this at a time that's quite difficult for you guys to join us at. You can actually chill at home, order a pizza, and watch these great games.
Yeah, and they are going to be great indeed. TY, Armani, Trap, and Solar. I'm sure you guys know at least 3 of those names. If you don't know Armani, this guy is a truly brainy Zerg. He's one of these guys that battles in all the qualifiers and just hasn't quite done it yet, but trust me, he's a fantastic Zerg, really fun to watch him.
And he is one of our guys that's finally going to get his shot. You know, we got to have new players coming in here.
Indeed. And we do have exactly that. Let's not forget, one of the most exciting new players, or 2 of the most exciting new players that we have right now, Nightmare, first Code S, Billowy, first Code S.
Yeah.
Maybe Armani can really show some great games as well.
It's good to have the old blood, but you need some new players.
Yeah.
Absolutely. By the way, guys, the ASL finals with C versus Flash is going to be on Sunday at 5 p.m. KST. Do not miss out on that. That is the sister tournament to the GSL Code S, where we host StarCraft 1 we're doing all the StarCrafts here, man.
That's right.
That's right.
Whatever StarCrafts you want to throw at us,
That's
we will
right.
be casting it. So make sure that you tune in. It's going to be the bunker before at 12:30 p.m. KST on
Right.
Saturday, and then at 1 p.m. KST on Saturday is Code S. Next day, 5 p.m. ASL Finals. So make sure you're there. That's your weekend.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. We love you. Have a good morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you are.